Over the past 30 years, English football clubs have torched hundreds of millions on stadium expansions that now sit like concrete monuments to epic failure. Team owners get stars in their eyes, architects draw up plans that look sick on paper, and fans get sold pipe dreams of packed stadiums. Then reality hits like a freight train, and suddenly you've got 20,000 empty seats roasting your ambition every weekend. Today, I'm breaking down the 10 most catastrophic stadium expansion disasters in English football. You can't fake passion, and 6,000 more plastic seats won't chant for you. So, let's dive into the biggest money furnaces in English football history. Number 10. Broadfield Stadium, Crawley Town. Bruce Winfield had big dreams when back-to-back promotions put Crawley on the map in 2011 and 2012. The property developer was riding high, thinking he could cement the club in League One permanently by expanding from 4,000 to 6,134 seats to meet league requirements. His investment looked genius at the time, surfing the wave of unprecedented success for a club that had spent decades in the football wilderness. The brutal reality today: 3,571 fans rattling around in over 6,000 seats, just 58% capacity. That fancy red-seated East Stand rarely has more than 1,200 people on a random Tuesday night. When Winfield died just months after completion, he stuck the next owners with massive maintenance bills without the championship cash he'd promised. The expansion cost per actual fan is absolutely insane when you consider how empty those seats stay. Walk around that East Stand during a typical Tuesday night game, and you'll hear your footsteps bounce off empty concrete. But while Crawley struggles with their modest expansion, bigger clubs were making way more expensive mistakes. Number 9. Colchester Community Stadium. Robbie Cowling thought he had cracked the code in 2008. The internet hotshot had watched his club reach the championship and figured tiny Layer Road was the only thing stopping them from sustained success. The 6,320 capacity ground felt cramped, outdated, and commercially dead. His solution was a slick 10,105 capacity community stadium that would unleash Colchester's potential. Cowling's timing was absolutely brutal. 2 seasons after the move, Colchester tanked and never bounced back. Today they average under 5,000 fans in League Two, while upper sections stay locked for regular games. The wide, open design kills any noise before it can build momentum, turning what should be intense lower league passion into echoing silence. Layer Road might have been a dump, but 6,000 fired-up fans crammed together creates way better atmosphere than 5,000 scattered across 10,000 seats. When your football stadium needs wedding cash to break even, the business model is completely busted. Speaking of busted business models, our next disaster shows what happens when corporate dreams meet lower league reality. Number 8. Boundary Park North Stand, Oldham Athletic. Simon Corney rolled up from New York's telecom world with massive plans for tiny Oldham. The chairman had visions of transforming their ground into an event center where conference facilities would bankroll promotion runs back to the championship. His $20 million North Stand project promised hospitality suites, meeting rooms, and corporate facilities that would revolutionize the club's finances. The execution was a complete train wreck from day one. Construction delays and cash problems left paying fans sitting in an unfinished concrete shell for years, until Corney's 2015 apology to season ticket holders made the failure official. The stand finally got shut down for safety fixes in 2021, while Oldham dropped into non-league soccer. Today, 6,073 fans are completely lost in a 13,513 capacity ground with whole sections mothballed because operating costs destroy revenue. Corney's hospitality white elephant was designed for a business conference market that was never coming to Oldham anyway. If your town can't fill a decent hotel, it definitely doesn't need a stadium conference centre. But at least Oldham's disaster was contained to one stand, unlike our next entry where the entire project became a TV nightmare. Number 7. New York Stadium, Rotherham United. Tony Stewart wanted to bring his beloved Millers home in serious style. The self-made electronics millionaire had watched Rotherham suffer through exile at Sheffield's Don Valley Stadium and promised something epic when he bankrolled their return. His $20 million New York stadium was designed to expand to 20,000 seats, ready for what he called becoming the Sheffield Wednesday of the East Side. Stewart's 12,000 capacity ground averages 9,413 fans, which sounds decent at 78% capacity until you see how pathetic it looks on television. Safe standing segregation makes the stadium look half empty during broadcasts, the exact opposite of the progress Stewart wanted to show off. Those expansion joints sit collecting dust while Rotherham fight relegation every single season. The move from cramped but electric Millmoor killed the noise that made lower league football special. Millmoor might have been a total dump by modern standards, but 4,000 fans could make it sound like 40,000. Stewart's modern amenities feel sterile and corporate even when it's relatively packed. While Stewart at least finished his project, our next chairman turned stadium expansion into an 8-year crime scene. Number 6. Sixfields Stadium East Stand, Northampton Town. David Cardoza pitched executive boxes and a hotel complex that would unlock championship revenue for Northampton Town. The chairman's master plan required expanding Sixfields from 7,800 to 10,000 capacity, with the East Stand serving as phase 1 of a massive redevelopment. His vision included conference facilities, corporate hospitality, and modern amenities that would transform the club's commercial game. What followed was 8 years of rusting steel that became football's most visible symbol of financial chaos. The $10.25 million council loan vanished into thin air. Contractors went bust, and half-built concrete stood as a monument to epic planning failure. Every live TV game became free advertising for broken promises while fans stared at the unfinished disaster. The police investigation, called Operation Tuckhill, finally nailed Cardoza in January 2025 when fraud charges dropped. When your stadium expansion gets its own police operation, you've definitely crossed the line from ambitious to straight-up criminal. By the time the stand opened in 2022, Northampton were averaging 6,568 fans, meaning the original capacity would have been totally fine. But if you think 8 years of embarrassment is rough, wait until you see what happens when public money builds what the public can't afford. Numbers 5, 4, and 3. The quick-fire trilogy of waste. 3 more disasters. 3 more patterns of ambition absolutely destroying fiscal responsibility. John Ryan's Doncaster dream. The cosmetic surgery mogul promised community regeneration, convincing the council to blow $30 million of taxpayer money on a 15,000 capacity bowl designed for championship glory. Today, the Keepmoat Stadium echoes with 8,013 League Two fans, while expensive hospitality boxes serve conference meals instead of football supporters. Pete Winkleman's retail park disaster. The music industry entrepreneur imagined some kind of Midlands Ajax when he relocated Wimbledon FC 56 miles north. Stadium MK holds 30,500 but fills just 6,819 seats. That's 22% capacity for a club built on stolen history that survives on borrowed crowds from Tottenham friendlies. Mel Morris's financial engineering masterpiece. The tech millionaire sold Derby's Pride Park Stadium to himself for $81 million to dodge financial fair play rules. When his scheme totally collapsed into administration hell, it forced 26,000 League One fans to pay championship running costs while the club fights for survival. All 3 prove the same point. Financial engineering pretending to be ambition creates structural costs that screw everyone except the guys who bailed out. But these look like small potatoes compared to our final 2 disasters, where success masks way deeper problems. Number 2. Ricoh Arena, Coventry City. Brian Richardson dreamed way bigger than most when he sold Coventry's vision for a 32,753 capacity arena in the late 1990s. The chairman pitched Premier League permanence and even floated Coventry as a candidate for England's new national stadium. His grand plan would replace the cramped Highfield Road with a modern venue worthy of top-flight soccer. Richardson's timing was absolutely catastrophic. Coventry got relegated before the stadium even opened, and average crowds crashed to just 10,000 948 in 2012-13, barely one-third capacity. What followed was a decade of ownership chaos, as hedge fund owner Joy Sepala fought legal battles that went all the way to the Supreme Court, while forcing 2 temporary relocations that completely destroyed the business plan. 20,000 empty seats became Coventry's signature look, a hollow monument to miscalculated ambition. The club only got control back in 2023 after more than a decade of psychological damage that still kills attendance today. Richardson's legacy is a stadium way too big for its community, but even that looks tiny next to our #1 disaster, where good numbers hide the death of football culture. Number 1. London Stadium, West Ham United. Karen Brady called it the deal of the century, and the numbers seem to totally back her up. West Ham's move from the 35,000 capacity Berlin ground to the $701 million Olympic conversion delivers 62,407 average attendance, suggesting massive success for the club's vice chair and mastermind behind the relocation. The brutal truth tells a completely different story. Brady's financial bargain came at the cost of West Ham's soul and the public's wallet. The club pays just $2.5 million yearly rent and contributed only $15 million to conversion costs, while taxpayers got stuck with the rest. The running track creates a moat between fans and players. Early crowd trouble required even more taxpayer-funded fixes, and season ticket holders still rank atmosphere way below their demolished former home. The old Berlin ground held 35,000 people who created an atmosphere that opposing players genuinely feared. The new stadium holds almost twice as many, but feels like a library during games. When packed houses feel empty, when capacity crowds stay silent, when bigger means worse, that's not progress. Brady got her deal of the century, but West Ham fans got a soulless giant that proves you can't buy passion with public money. The London Stadium represents everything wrong with modern football development: capacity over atmosphere, public subsidy over club investment, and financial engineering over fan experience. These empty monuments to ambition prove that stadium debt outlasts the owners who ordered it, sticking future generations with yesterday's pipe dreams. What's the most pointless stadium expansion you've seen? Drop your thoughts below and let me know which football business disaster I should investigate next, because when it comes to torching money, English football clubs never disappoint.